Happy Dice Day, fellow rollers, and welcome to episode 25 of Holy Rollerz, a 4th edition D&D clerical campaign where each of the characters can channel divinity, and acceptable losses include any family members of the enemy in blast radius. Not pointing the finger again at anybody, but that's how we roll here. Just a little reminder to those of you who are watching, we have a special deal with John Gaitan of JBG Garage Crafts. He will give you a 10% discount on his beautiful dice vault that he designs and other products. The code is Holy Rollerz, just like our logo, all in caps with a Z at the end instead of an S. And that gets you a 10% discount on JBG Garage Crafts. Thanks to John for that. And we are going to be doing another giveaway when we get to 100 subscribers on YouTube or on Twitch or on our subreddit. Anywhere we get to 100 first, we will be giving away another dice ball and some beautiful angel dice that I am going to order. So,
what?
They will be fabulous. Yes, $9.99. Are you out of your mind?
More giveaways? We need
yes. But wait, that's not all. You'll also get a free head polishing gear.
That's cool.
Sponsored by. No, okay, moving on. And we're moving on here. It's just so you know, it's probably going to get stone cold tonight, people. We're in the midst of terrible battle. But first, let's start with a bit of lore. Vestera is the goddess of healing and protection, a goddess of healers and guardians. At one time, Vestera was also the goddess of peace. But recently, Vestera took on a new incarnation as the champions of the gods. Acknowledging that the time for peace was waning as more and more extraplanar creatures began hatching schemes to challenge the outer gods. As Vestera is the champion of the gods, she stands as the first line of defense against direct planar incursion. A reflection of its goddess, the Church of Healing is the largest and most organized faith in the Eastern Pinnacle, and the only church on the continent that shares power with a nation as a theocracy. The Adari Republic is likely the strongest bastion of clerical might in the world, which makes it the most ambitious target for the Archdevil of Pride, Navariel, and his ally, the Archfey, the Piper, the Duke of Dismay. And now for a not-so-brief recap, as quite a bit happened last time on Holy Rollerz. The clerics prepared to confront the possessed Lady Anastrace and the twisted funhouse she had created in the banquet hall of Castle Winterguard. However, before the party could enter the hall, they received an appearance from a power who named herself only as Rebellion. Rebellion warned the clerics that the only way they had a chance of confronting Navariel's power within the castle was to call on their patrons. Before they entered the Great Hall, each cleric called out to their deity, which seemed to generate an intense amount of divine power. As they finally entered, the party saw a macabre scene of victims strung from the chandeliers, denizens of the castle being forced to eat their dead, and an older servant at the top of a crude pole trying to avoid snarling, starving hounds. As the fight began, the power of Navariel manifested a shadowy figure all the way across the walls of the hall and crushed the clerics into the ground. In the first round of combat, Morokhan's faith summoned a manifestation of Hemina's weapon, the World Torch, lifting the burden from the party and allowing them to engage the possessed Lady Anastrace, wife of the Night Lord Gable. During this round, Anduriel managed to snap Lady Anastrace's neck, instantly slaying her, but the possessing devil leaped into the body of the cook and combat resumed. Gizik next called on Sigrund, and a manifestation of the goddess of hags leaped onto the back of Navariel's shadow and rode it around the room, again relieving the party of the Archdevil's presence. There were quite a number of other attacks, but we only made it through one round of combat, and so we will be picking it up from there, ladies and gentlemen. So, positioning stands as follows. In the center of this great banquet hall, in the center long table, we have Morokhan hanging from a chandelier 5 squares above the ground, 4 squares above the banquet hall table. Morokhan is currently impaled on the metallic portion of the chandelier and has somewhat had the crap beaten out of him. We also have Sister Fadaver leaning or kneeling down next to the little girl, Sibella Gable, the daughter of the Night Lord, and having just healed her after Anduriel inadvertently, or perhaps just callously, offed her in the middle of the blast. Can't make an omelet. And then we have, next to Sister Fadaver, is Anduriel invisible from his last power. Gizik is slightly behind them towards the fire pit at the end of the banquet hall chamber, and Lachlan is facing a magical creation of his own twin, conjured by the court wizard Sir Mordevere. And that is where things stand so far. Lachlan, my friend, we begin with you in combat. What would you like to do?
Can you remind me the location of the wizard?
Yes, I can. The wizard is in square 24H. He is all the way at the other end of the banquet hall. Why do you want to know the location of the wizard?
Well, I'm trying to determine how vindictive I'm feeling.
Given that I've known you for years, I would like to hazard a guess on how vindictive you're feeling. In fact, I don't feel like I need to guess. The only question is whether or not you wish to emote your vindictiveness fully.
Is that right next to the husband knight dude?
The wizard? No,
Yeah.
He's all the way at the other end of the hall. He's in square 24G.
Oh, okay.
Not that you can see him tangled up in the chandelier like you are, impaled on the metallic end.
I just wanted a better view of the room.
Okay, I'm going to gracefully, attempt to gracefully leap over the table towards square L12. So
Okay.
athletics check with
Yes.
the DC 16.
You were trying to leap into square L12, you say?
Yes.
Oh my, that's quite athletic. Are you making an acrobatics check or just a jump?
Athletics, yeah. So I'm going to move. I'll move to the table and then jump over the table.
You're going to provoke an attack of opportunity, running from your evil magical twin. Been a lot of that going around lately.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Okay. Alrighty, my friend. Then you can go ahead and make an athletics check to get into that square. You will need at least. We'll go ahead. You have a running start, so we're going to say you need about a 15.
29 should do it. So it is very graceful.
Okay.
Like
29.
as well. A 29.
A 29.
He practically flutters over there.
All right, so Lachlan, you start running, and the music turns on. Do 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 do. Okay. Do 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 do. All right. So Lachlan, he lands, and in the background, the terrified servants that are running, they stop for a minute and hold up 10. Like.
So hit me, baby, one more time. You know.
Okay.
Coming.
Okay. Do you stop and sing that on the way? Okay. Alrighty, Lachlan, if the target moves, an immediate interrupt to Teldner and make another attack. All right, Lachlan, he gets a free attack on you. What, my friend, is your will?
20.
20. Here's to hoping he misses you. Oh!
Don't you do it.
Somebody cut his
back
camera.
it
Cut his
up.
camera. No, don't let him show it.
The one.
Oh,
I didn't want to do it.
Third.
I don't want to do it.
Of course that happened.
Okay, he only rolled a 7 to back it up, which would be only 17. What's your will again?
20.
All right, so he did not back it up, but he did hit you. Lachlan, you take 10 psychic damage, my friend. Which is unfortunate. You are also at a -2 to attacks, as your twin actually teleports in front of the square that you land in, and once again flourishes his blade almost as artfully as you do, and goes, and he comes and stabs across, and then he continues just kind of threatening and swinging at you.
So the twin is in L or N12?
13L,
13L. Okay.
right in front of him.
Okay.
How you feeling there, Locke?
I am not quite bloodied, but I'm but nearly there.
Okay, you are at a -2 to attacks, my friend, with him harrying you right now.
Okay. Well, that cook is getting my channel divinity.
You're all right. Well then, by all means.
What's her will?
All right. Well, do you want the cook's will, or do you want?
Only if hitting the cook is going to hurt her too.
Okay, well, believe it or not, the cook's will is only 16.
So will it? Is that with the devil's will? I mean, like.
Well, you are going for the devil, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, the devil's will is only 16.
Okay.
Is that true for real life too, or
Is that for real life? What?
is that true in real life too?
Oh, the real devil? I don't know. Ask Jeff. I'm assuming. Jeffrey?
All right. So Lachlan holds up his hand like this and kind of almost like he's holding the cook's heart, and he says, "Lady Trueheart, shatter her heart on the altar of your scorn." And she is going to be pulled 5, knocked prone, vulnerable 5, all until the end of my next turn, and must spend her next standard action begging for forgiveness and confessing her undying love to me.
All right.
All right.
All right. So what did you roll to hit, my friend?
I rolled a 19. Total 19. Not the roll.
Well,
That's with the -2.
yeah, I'll allow it. Okay. Okay, and that will take place on that creature's turn. So the possessing devil is pulled into square 13L right in front of Lachlan, to the other side of the table. Runs to Lachlan and is also knocked prone. Correct?
Yes.
Falling to its knees. All right, knocked prone. And that is Mr. Lachlan's turn. Anduriel, my friend, invisible Anduriel, it is your turn.
Wait, so the cook is now over in front of Lachlan,
Yes, in square 13L.
along
man,
with the twin.
action.
You're going to
Yeah,
use
the
your minor
evil-
action?
The evil
Yeah.
twin is in 13L.
Was.
My minor action is I'm gonna heal myself.
I think that's a really, really good idea. All right, what are you going to use? Majestic word?
Majestic word.
What do you say to you?
Well, he looks down at her at his feet and he says, "Nothing can stop Sindel's power, you filthy devil." And it just makes him feel good. Just
Ooh.
warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. Just makes them feel all kinds of squishy. I like it. I like it. Let's go with it. Okay.
On to you, Anduriel.
Very good. All right, Anduriel, my friend, it is your turn.
Okay.
And Duriel, you're a shadow wrangler, are you not? Can you do anything about this shadow on the wall?
I hear the dragon's voice. Where is the dragon? I'm the invisible one. Where are you, dragon?
Up,
Oh,
here.
oh
He-
my.
Dripping blood onto the center of the great banquet hall.
Yeah. So he's actually, you make a good point. And so Anduriel is going to call out to Naylock. He's going to shout, "Brother of Shadow, show this pretender the meaning of darkness. Show him the meaning of shadow combat." And he's
Channel
going to
divinity.
channel divinity.
Okay, Anduriel, a very disturbing thing happens to you. This is the first time you've channeled divinity in a bit. Your shadow stands up and peels itself up off the floor, and it begins choking you.
That was unexpected.
When you said his shadow stood up, I thought you said his shadow was about to pee.
No, that's actually
Still off, but pee.
That's not happening. This is actually a little bit worse. Anduriel's shadow stands up, and instead of running off in the direction that his shadow normally would, it turns around and locks its Anduriel-like hands around him and begins choking him.
Huh. That has never happened.
It hasn't ever happened. Good question.
So he's quite confused. Let's see here.
That's your standard action, I believe, correct?
To channel divinity.
That
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You still have a minor and a move.
Well, I'd like to move away majorly.
That would not be a bad idea.
Okay, I'm gonna actually start making my way towards the wizard.
Okay.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 20. 20 H.
Okay, if you run, you can get 2 more squares.
That'll take me to 22 H.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so Anduriel, your shadow clings to you, strangling you, and you're kind of fighting against you as you're running, but nobody can see you, so you do kind of have an advantage here. However, the wizard can hear you coming and can't see you, so he is a little bit wary or disturbed, shall we say.
Okay.
Okay. You still have a minor action.
I use my minor action to wonder WTF. Is that a feat that I'm trained in?
Wondering WTF is actually not a feat. Do you wonder out loud or?
Kinda. Well, yeah. Yeah, he wonders out loud.
What does he say?
Says, Naylock, what is the meaning of this?
Okay. Your shadow puts his head right next to yours, still holding on, and says, remember where your loyalties lie. And then your shadow dissipates.
This is why it's better to worship the goddess of love.
Well, he worships the god of vengeance. Let's all ponder that for a minute. Everybody, let's take a moment and ponder what happens when you worship the god of vengeance.
Let's do an early consider this. Consider this. When you're choosing which god to serve,
This is why. Okay.
Okay.
Rough turn. You still have your action point that you have not used.
Yes, and I'm going to use it, actually.
Alrighty. Do you want to channel divinity again? No? Too soon?
I'm going to hold off on the old divinity thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to fall back on the vampire stuff.
Great. All right.
So I'm going to attack Mr. Wizard with Taste of
He
Luck.
is 1 square away from you, my friend.
Oh, I can't, because the
Yeah.
action point won't give me an extra move, will it?
It will not.
Well, then there's no reason to take the action point.
Nope, not
I'm gonna-
necessarily.
Good.
Okay. All right. Rough turn for poor Enduro. Morocon. It could be worse, Enduro. Moroccon's doing one of these.
Well,
Morocon right now is Thor in Ragnarok. He's like, hold on, coming around.
Well, first things first, he's gonna unimpale himself.
Which you can do quite easily given your strength.
Right. So I'm gonna peel myself off of whatever spikes are sticking through me.
Okay.
But can I not hop down from the chandelier yet? Or
You can. Do you have acrobatics or do you only have athletics?
just athletics?
Okay, you're going to have to make an athletics check if you would like to land on the table without injuring yourself.
Okay, well, then I'll have to do that.
Okay, you are going to need at least a 22.
Okay.
Have you rolled yet, Morocon?
Oh, 23.
Very nice. Okay,
Oh.
so Morocon, you do a push-up position. You push up off of the thing, and then make yourself like Vera Slender, and you slip down Bruce Lee style and land on the table, like on the table. And it's really impressive. And there's like a bunch of Dragonborn cheerleaders in the background going,
Wait, there are?
no. In your mind, there might be.
The table creaks under the weight of my slamming onto it.
I'm willing to bet that's true.
All the plates of food kind of fly up around.
Yeah. You land in dead denizens of Castle Winterguard.
Yes. And I am going to take a minor action, and I'm going to take a healing surge. Because
Are you going to use Healing Word to use that healing surge?
I would like to.
Okay, so you roll 1d6 because you get a surge plus 1d6.
Exactly. Oh, how about that? A 6. So I am healing quite a bit. Okay. How about that? Okay.
Alrighty, very nice. Do you say anything as you heal yourself, or do you just grab your holy symbol and go, ow?
It's more or less going to be silence. It was rather embarrassing to not have a punch land and then get tossed up into a chandelier. So I'm just going to pretend like nothing happened. And then I'm going to move toward the cook.
Okay. Well, the cook is on the other side of the table. Oh, wait, no, you're right there. Okay, rock on.
I'm on the table, am I not?
You are. Do you want to charge attack and use the melee basic?
Yeah, I'll have to.
All right, you only have a standard action left, so well,
Right.
you still have your action point. So you can make your melee basic, and then you can use an action point if you want.
Okay. Then I will move to. Can I stay on the table, or is that rough terrain?
You can stay on the table just fine. Now, the table's not rough terrain right now.
Okay.
The problem is the cook, the demonically or diabolically warped cook, is on the floor, about prostrate before Lachlan, about to beg for mercy and express undying love.
Okay. Who else is around the table?
By now, people have moved away from the table. You can see there's a group of people. Helga and Dominica are huddled underneath the table. That elderly gentleman is on the dais in square J4, and he's on that pole with the hounds snapping on either side of him. And there are a couple of other people who have run to the other corner of the room, like 26T.
Okay.
Not that many. It's like 4 servants. 4 servants and the guy on the pole.
All right. Well, none of them are really a threat at the moment, so.
Well, no, they're running for their lives and trying to prevent themselves from being devoured by hounds.
Yes. So let's see here. How about?
So where are you gonna? First of all, where are you gonna end up, Moralcon?
How far can I run?
How far can you run? What's your speed?
From where I'm at. Like, did I use some movement to get off of there, or?
Your movement was to land off of the chandelier onto the table. You don't have a standard because you use your minor to heal.
And it was okay. Okay, then I am just going to move up to M13 next to the cook and next to Lachlan.
All right. Are you going to make a melee basic charge attack as you do this?
Yeah.
All right, go for it. Make your melee basic attack.
What do I need to hit?
Well, I'm assuming you're targeting AC.
It's AC. Sorry.
The AC is 19, my friend.
Boy, okay. Whoo! All right, dirty 20.
All right, that's a hit. Roll your damage. You're a 1d8 man, the diamond die. And your melee basic attack bonus is right there on your character sheet.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was not a lot. How about a 7?
Hey, 7's not bad. That's a solid hit.
Plus 5.
That's with the bonus damage and all that. That's but I have a plus 4 damage.
Yeah, but she's vulnerable 5 all, so.
Oh, is she?
12 damage.
Ooh. So 12.
Alrighty. That'll do, pig. All right, Moralcon. So, Moralcon, you land artfully and gracefully on the table. Thud. There's probably maybe whatever. And then you go leaping across the table. And as the poor possessed cook leans up towards Lachlan, you go, boom! you clubber in the head down. And there's a cracking sound as you make contact with the skull. And
block that, demon.
pretty painful. All right, you gonna use your action point? You calling it good?
I'm going to call it for now.
Alrighty, that would be the Morocon. Now it is the devil's turn. Okay. So, Lachlan, the devil looks at you and it says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sworn. My contract is to the fallen. But you, I would sign my soul over to you in a moment if I could. And looks up and spends its standard action just drooling at you. And then seems to kind of come out of it for a minute and looks really, really angry. You see as the enchantment begins to fade away, a vicious snarl curls at the end of the cook's lips, and then her mouth widens too wide for a human face, and a mouthful of sharp fangs roar at you. And then, with the minor action, the cook or the possessing devil lifts up hands or clawed hands like this and makes a grasping motion, and a little pool of hellfire opens up near you, Lachlan, and a diabolical hand reaches up to the hellfire and grasps at you. What is your AC, my friend?
20.
20. Needs a 10.
Oh, come on.
No. Don't cut his camera, Jeffrey.
Don't.
Is
You
that
stop
is that a
rolling that
I don't
2?
see no dice.
Stop rolling it.
That looks like a 2.
No, it's a 20. Sorry to keep moving. I'm sorry to make you all dizzy. Okay, it's a 2. Whoa. Oh, Irma.
I know.
Jeffrey really practices witchcraft. It's here.
Put
Okay.
that garbage away.
Okay, I promise I'll stop rolling Wheeler Woe on you. All right. So, Lachlan, it is a hit. So you, my friend, are going to take... Oh, that's not bad. 4, 2, 2, 2, 2. You take 8 points of damage, Lachlan, and you are grabbed. All right, that is a minor action. And there is not much more to be done with a move action per se at this time. Okay. All right. Now it would be the wizard's turn. Enduriel, you just appeared out of nowhere in front of the wizard, and he looks at you. You appear out of nowhere, and he goes, "Ha!" And he figures he better do something, or he's going to be in real trouble.
Yes, he is. Anduriel's still a little pissed that he ran off.
What square did he pop into?
He popped into 22H. That is where Enduriel is.
Okay.
All right. Enduriel, he is going to cast... Oh, boy. Yeah, he's going to shoot the moon. Enduriel, he's going to cast a sleep spell on you. What is your will?
20.
All right, 20. He has a plus 12. He needs an 8 to get you. And that is a 5, my friend.
Oh.
So, that...
Where's your 20 now, DM?
Unfortunately...
Don't say that.
Because he is human, he is going to use the extra effort power to add 4 and getting the 9 that he needed. However, Anduriel, you are now currently slowed, which means your movement speed is a 2. If you fail your first save versus his power, you will fall asleep.
Okay.
So Anduriel, you come up and he's like, "Oh!" And he hits you. He hits you with this just, fan of energy into your face. And all of a sudden you're a little bit drowsy and you're woozy, but you think for the moment, you're like, "Oh, I think it missed, or I think you didn't get me." And then you can feel the weight of the magic kind of weighing on you and making you even drowsier, and you're in danger here. He is also going to take the run action and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He runs to square O27. because he has no intention of engaging you there.
I just wanted to talk to him.
Well, you should have probably just said that. I'm sure he would have turned right around and been like, let's have a meaningful discourse.
While his shadow is strangling him.
Exactly.
1 second, I'll get to you.
Hey!
All right. It is at this point that the Night Lord enters the fray. Unfortunately, the Night Lord looks as though he has lost possession of his faculties again. And the Night Lord kind of just looks up, and then he's like, "Argh!" He makes this just painful, clenched teeth look, and is like trying not to move his hands. And then he reaches down and he draws his sword and he pulls his shield from off of his back. And then he is going to attack Sister Faudever. Poor Sister Faudever.
Come on, sister.
All she did
Was heal his daughter.
was heal his daughter. And now he is going to... Oh, Gizik. Yeah, he's going to do that.
I'm just in the room. I haven't really done anything yet.
Not yet. I'm just in the room. Okay, he is going to use double attack and attack Sister Faudever twice. Her AC is 19, and he needs a 9. That's an 18, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a 1. Lovely. Okay, so 1 hit, 1 miss. And a 9 on the damage die. 17 points of damage to Sister Faudever.
I'm sure she's just incensed. A man has touched me.
Well, with a sword. It's like, oh.
I was gonna say, technically, it was his sword, not him. So
I know, but isn't that representationally?
Is that a euphemism?
no, a sword is a sword.
Okay. I thought he was man stabbing her, but okay. Okay. So he gets up and starts moving, and Sister Faudever is like, "We need to get the child." Oh! And she gets slashed right up the chest with his sword. He swings once and slashes her up, and he swings around with a sword again, and she goes, and she brings her great sword up and blocks it very, very effectively. And she looks at him and she goes, "Have you lost your senses?" Kind of unaware of what's going on. And that would be the Night Lord. Now, unfortunately, coming through the double doors in square 28S is a man in a white robe with a gray tower emblazoned on the front of the white robe. And he is looking like he has malintent. Let's see. How far away?
Can I make a check to determine what that symbol means?
You absolutely can. You only need a 12.
History?
Nope, knowledge, religion.
Religion. I got a 21.
He is a priest of the High One. He is dressed exactly like the other priests of the High One were, with a white robe and a gray or reddish gray tower emblazoned across the front of the white robe. And he is looking all kinds of mean. And Morocon, you are there, but let's see. Anduriel, you are right there. All right, 1 to 2 he goes for Morocon, 3 to 4 he goes for Anduriel. And Morocon, he's looking like he thinks you're just precious. How far away?
So he knows who we are, and he knows who the other, like, the good guys and bad guys. He knows.
He seems pretty well aware of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, he goes pushing past the wizard, and he kind of shoves past the wizard and goes, "Get out of my way, you fool!" 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, Morocon, he has to double move to get to square 19N. But unfortunately, that is all that he is going to be able to do, because what he wants to do to you is going to require him to get significantly closer. So that will be all he does on his turn. Okay. Now it is Sister Faudever's turn. She is defending herself from the Night Lord. The first thing she's going to do is use Lay on Hands on herself. To spend a surge plus 1d6 plus 4. Ooh. And Sister Faudever heals herself completely back up to full. And how's everybody else feeling?
Sleepy.
Ineffective.
I'm a little tired.
I say Gizik hasn't really done anything.
Poor Gizik.
I tried to do something. Like, the one thing I could do on my last turn, I missed, so. I wasn't impaled on the chandelier or anything, but...
I'm okay for now.
All right, Morocon, are you down hit points? Who's down hit points? Anybody?
No, I'm at full health with that healing surge I did on myself.
Okay.
I'm still down 10.
I'm good.
All right. She is going to use Strike of Hope on him. She has a lovely +10 to attack.
Ooh.
And the Night Lord has an AC. She needs an 11 with an AC of 21. And she gets a 14. So she is more than capable of hitting him. Greatsword is 2d6. All right. Oh, that's lovely. 3 + 5. She does a whopping 8 points of damage. Okay, so this is what Sister Faudever does. She says, if you lost your senses, she steps back, puts her hands on herself, and whispers something, and her hand glows with a holy white light. And as she moves her hand away, the blood and the injury is totally gone. And then she takes her two-handed greatsword, and she swings it around, and she bangs it on the side of him. Not like she's trying to chop him in half, but like she's trying to club him with it. She hits it, and then her sword is bathed in a holy white light. She grabs the white light off of her sword. It comes off in her hand, and she flings it towards Lachlan. Lachlan, you get 2 temporary hit points. And that white light just kind of lingers over you, Lachlan. And Gizik, my friend, it is your turn.
All right.
Gizik, Gizik, Gizik.
All right, so Gizik looks around the room a little bit. It's, kind of confusing. There seems to be a lot going on.
There are a lot of people there.
His eyes rest on the Night Lord and start glowing just this bright green color, and he raises his hand and points out and says, You belong to me now.
Oh.
All right, so let's see. Versus Will. Oh, not awesome, but 17 versus Will on a Bewitch attack.
That is exactly what you needed. All right. The poor Night Lord, who seems to be everybody's falls under your power.
All right.
When you want to impose
-2 to AC.
All right. Poor Night Lord.
Nice, Gizik.
Now move him in between me and this dude with the white robe that just bursted into the room.
No, he's just going to be a little bit easier to hit, a little slower to react when we swing at him. Then I'm going to kind of just drag my claws along the floor. Use Fist of Stone and just have the stone from the earth just kind of come up and form around my hands and charge at the Night Lord.
Okay. Well, he is right there, next to Sister Fought of Air.
I will be... So, which space is he in? I have him marked as H15, but I think that was a guess.
Okay, no, that's where he is. He's in H15. He's right next to the little girl, but he doesn't seem to be paying her any mind.
Well, I will charge to G14.
Okay.
So this is a melee basic with Fist of Stone, which is just for the rest of the encounter bonus.
Very nice.
Is that similar to Stone Fist?
So that's a 26. Fist of Stone gives me a bonus to melee attack and bonus to melee damage and double damage to objects.
Well, he's not an object, but I'm sure he'll do damage. I guarantee this is going to hurt.
All right, so it said that was a 26 plus he has the -2 to AC.
That's more than enough.
Give me a good roll. 17 damage.
Ooh, nice.
All right. 17 points of damage, you say?
As I'm charging in, this is I just punch out at him and stab my spike right through his shoulder.
This is the second time he's taken damage. Who
My
injured
claw.
him? Who injured him the first time?
He was attacked in the opening barrage, wasn't he, when his daughter died?
Yeah, he was part of the Swarm of Shadows debacle. Not a debacle because it was great, but
I mean,
define debacle.
Yeah, from whose perspective is it a debacle? Not from mine. Like, not. All right.
Harry was pretty happy.
The little girl
beat up.
The little girl was probably carrying textbooks that are way above her level. Demon summoning, calculus. Just like a Men in Black. Yeah.
I thought I saw a tricycle somewhere.
Well, when the little girl
start some stuff.
When the little girl started this entire thing, she was rocking back and forth and with her eyes closed at the banquet table, kind of like trying to not get the attention of her mother. That's how she started. Then she wound up with a vampire beating her to death, and but that's okay because omelets, eggs.
I think she probably death might be better. She's gonna have some horrible PTSD, like the worst ever.
You're right. People can't recover from that. It's not. Ladies and gentlemen, we here at Holy Rollerz support execution for all kinds of maladies. Okay. All right, now we are at the beginning of initiative, and now something rather unpleasant happens.
Oh, you mean I don't want unpleasant. You rolled two 20s on me.
Well, look, you're the first person here that's about to be targeted by this, so you're gonna have a great time. Okay, Lachlan, what is your will, my friend?
20.
Alrighty. All right, that's a 24. Lachlan, you take 5 points of psychic damage as you feel a presence enter your mind. And you will lose your minor action shouting out something prideful on your turn. And Lachlan, you hear a smooth voice enter your head, and it says, "Handsome, soulful young Lachlan, you crave excitement and adventure to make your own mark on the world. And why shouldn't you? Your telepathy is just a taste of the power in your bloodline. I can lead you straight to the tomb of Queen Ajaled and the vestige of her power. We can end this right now. All you have to do is call off your allies." And now, Lachlan, you have to shout out something prideful. As the fires of your pride are stoked and you lose your minor action, what does Lachlan shout out loudly?
He says,
"You can take a moment. I'm enjoying myself." Maybe.
Well, I got to think. He's really proud of his of his connection to his deity and his artistic talents. And so I think he's going to having seen Anduriel's folly with the whole getting strangled by his own shadow, he's gonna go to the deity thing, and he said, and he shouts out, "Why? Why am I stuck with allies who have such inferior deities to my own?"
Okay. You are also required to say something about yourself.
The dragon doesn't like that deity thing, by the way. He gets real sensitive.
He's very touchy about that.
Really, Lachlan, I am hurt.
I just know you're wrong, so.
Dario's like, at the moment, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Is the groom still riding that shadow around the hall?
At the moment, at the beginning of this round, no, but we're
Okay.
wait. So, what does Lachlan say about himself?
About himself, he says, he looks, because she's still prone, right?
Yeah, in front of you, begging for, any.
So, so he looks down at her and says, "Of course you would beg and plead at my feet. And they're just beautiful feet."
So of all the things he's gonna brag about, the podiatrist says I'm his favorite patient. Look at these toesies. These little piggies are all up in your market. Okay. All right. Okay. There we go.
He's looking down at her, and what does he notice? He notices his feet.
Fair enough.
You remind me of Olaf in your cute little nose.
I don't think it matters what part he's looking at. He will think it is the most beautiful there is. So
I'm sure, and who knows? He may have lacquered toenails.
he look at his elbow. It's like, well, that's the nicest elbow I've ever seen.
The crusty elbows.
The proportions here? Oh my goodness. The curvature? Oh.
Okay, so that is what happens at the beginning of the round. Sigrun's presence also vanishes from off the wall, and that weight descends back on the rest of you. Your clerical powers are now doing half damage until somebody does something.
Well, I'm going to do something.
Your clerical powers are weakened. Lachlan, you have a move and a minor, so...
No, I have a standard and a move.
Excuse me, standard and a move. Yeah, you lost your minor praising your feat.
Okay. With my move action, I am going to say, Sindel, cast this enemy aside. Keep him out of my mind and strike him down.
Okay. What will you do with your standard?
With my standard, I'm going to hit her.
With what?
With my sword.
With his
Okay.
With his pretty toes.
Well, you
He doesn't want to mess up his toes. Come on.
you have 2 counts.
He just painted them.
5, right?
On me?
On the devils, don't you have 2 counts of vulnerable 5?
Just one. Just one.
Just one. Okay. All right. What power are you using?
Virtuous strike.
All right. Go for it, Mr. Virtuous Striker.
Strike virtuously.
You said her AC is
19.
Is 19?
Yep.
That's a lot. That's a 29.
All right. That'll do.
So it is 11 points of radiant damage.
Except it's really 15, right? Or 16?
Oh, yes. 16. Mm-hmm.
All right. Describe it.
Well, I want to do something else with that. As a free action, I'm going to use Mocking Smite to deal an additional 7 points of psychic and radiant and make myself invisible to her until the end of my next turn.
Alrighty.
So he comes with his sword, and it becomes covered in a rosy light, and he goes like total executioner style on her because she's there at his feet, and he swings at it, and as he does, he says, "Take this, you filthy."
She's
Sorry,
a cook.
I almost said something a little naughty. He would do that though.
Filthy, ugly toad creature.
You filthy servant of a weak fallen angel, and just.
All right.
He's trying to think, because he takes his god seriously. he's thinking that making fun of hers or her godlike figure is, kind of mean.
Okay. Alrighty. So you slash across with that rose-colored light and coming out, and the cook screams like, in that double-voiced kind of possessed thing, and lets out a scream and a screech that is much, much louder than it should be. And an energy pours off of the cook like smoke coming off of a fire, and the cook drops down into the ground, like flat into the ground, and this ball of red and orange colored energy sails past you, Lachlan, and it slams right into Sabella Gable, the little girl. And it hits her, and she goes, she stands up, and her eyes blaze out with an unnatural light, and she reaches under the table and grabs a tricycle.
I knew it.
Does she go Ghost Rider now?
Not quite, but that is an excellent nerd reference, Benjamin. I'm proud of you. Now,
turns into Nicolas Cage.
I want to make a religion check. I think it's religion, but I want to make a check to see if I know of a way to stop this whole body jumping. Or
go for it. All right, make a knowledge religion check. Tell me what you get.
25.
Okay. There are a number of powers that will allow you to stop this body jumping thing. You know that Gizik, amongst the 5 of you, unless Sister Faudever is packing something you don't know about, which who knows, Gizik could do it. Just FYI, Gizik could probably channel divinity and stop it. Somebody else that has power over souls and death, and Duriel could probably stop it too if he channeled divinity.
Well, he did, but we know how that worked out.
I'm not sure that's the best idea now, but amongst you guys, as far as you know, even with a 25, there are other powers that do it. None of you have them, unfortunately. You don't know. There's an exorcism ritual, but none of you know it. So, now, that being said, Lachlan, at the end of your turn, a very beautiful thing happens. Sigrun's presence is gone, but a spotlight hits the center of the floor right next in front of the shadowy presence of Navariel covering the entire back wall. So that spotlight hits down, and the feathered shadow lifts its hands up like this, and appearing in the spotlight is Saint Delia Adira wearing a shining white flamenco sequence dress, and she starts dancing provocatively. She goes, boom, 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 boom. She starts dancing and moving around, and things start shaking, and you look, and the shadowy presence on the wall is kind of dancing in time to the rhythm. And there's their music is struck up in the background. There's and she just starts dancing a jig right around there, castanets going in the background. And there is the shadow in the back, just kind of hypnotized by her dance briefly. She is glowing with a fierce, fierce white light, but that light is slowly beginning to diminish. And you get the impression that, demigoddess or no, she's not going to be able to hold it for very long.
Everyone's toes just starts tapping.
Yeah. Well, you can't help it. There is a rhythm is gonna get you feeling.
I was hoping it was Cuban Pete, from The Mask.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, everybody could be hearing something different, but there's a faint music in the background as she stands there dancing provocatively in the spotlight of her own creation.
The guy trapped up on the pole is even like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Good.
guy who's trapped on the pole is probably dancing on it now. It's, who knows? Yeah. Ben, could you do that again, please? That was beautiful. Good night, everybody. Okay, we can stop right there. Okay. And that is Lachlan's turn. The weight is lifted off of you, and you all begin to feel your clerical powers surge again. And now it would be Anduriel's turn. Anduriel, you're slowed, my friend. You are down to a speed of 2.
Can I save at the beginning of my turn?
Well,
Or
do
do I
you
have to
have
wait?
any power that would allow you to save against a slowed effect?
No.
Oh,
Well, I
you
have
still
da-
have you have bardic inspiration still, don't you?
Which will do nothing for this.
I have
but you
superior
can use
will,
You
but
can
I don't
use
know if
it to
that's
save.
that's
That's
days.
days and stun. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that does not apply to the slowed condition.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm just slowed.
You could, well, not necessarily. You could throw your kukri at somebody.
That's true. I've never thrown it, but so Andariel kind of senses that something's not right, but he sees the gentleman with the what did we call him?
The cleric of pride.
Cleric of Pride. He sees him going towards Morocon with death in his eyes. And so Anduriel's going to try and stop that from happening because he's mad at the wizard, but he doesn't see the wizard as the biggest threat in the room.
Well, he hasn't done too much yet. Of course, if you fall asleep, everyone might change their mind.
Right.
Okay. So, all right. So, are you going to move at all, Anduriel, or are you just going to throw your dagger?
I'm going to move
You have a movement speed of 2 right now, my friend.
1. I'm going to try and get on top of the table on 21J.
Okay. Give me a climb check, please.
Okay. That is an 18 on the dice.
Okay. That is more than sufficient. All right. So you climb up, and now you have a standard left and a minor.
Okay. I don't know if I'll use how far away is he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's 4 squares away from you now.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out. I'm going to try. No, never mind. I'm just gonna try throwing my kukri, throwing the kukri at him.
Okay. All right. This is a ranged basic attack, which means you add your dexterity at half your level and +1 for the minor enchantment.
3,
So-
6, 7, +7.
All right. His AC is not terrible, if I'm remembering.
You get the proficiency bonus of the kukri as well.
Oh, that's correct. So is that 3 or 2?
3.
3.
Oh,
So
wait. I don't know. No, I think it's
plus-
3.
It is? All right, we'll go with 3. It's only a difference of +1. Okay, his AC is only 16, Anduriel, and now you have a +10.
Yeah, that was a 25.
All right, that's a hit. So roll your 1d6 and add 1 and your dexterity bonus.
Matt, you were right. It's a +2.
Okay, he still hit.
7. That is a 9. 9 points of damage.
All right.
So Anduriel's gonna, like I said, he's gonna look up, kind of look around. He'll see him running towards Morocon. Say, "Dragon, down!" And he's going to leap onto the table with his kukri and flip it in his hand. So he's holding the blade end and huck it like a boomerang.
Okay. Oh, very cool. Very cool image. Okay.
Does it come back though?
All right. No,
Yes.
it sticks in the back of the priest.
It embeds, yeah. So it goes twirling through the air. You kind of hear it whistling until it makes a solid chunk right in the back of the priest.
All right.
But if
so
it's magical, it does return to your hand.
Oh, very nice. Okay. It's a minor magic, but it is magic. So it goes, and the priest looks up at Morocon. Morocon, the priest is lifting his finger at you, and you can feel that he's about to start casting a spell, and then it's like he's like, "Ow!" It hits him right in the back. Anduriel, adapting quickly to his slowness. Do you have anything you'd like to do for your minor action, Anduriel?
No, I don't really have any.
You can unslow yourself.
That's at the end of his turn.
That's at the end of my turn. I have charming gaze, but actually, no. That makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna try and trap him in my charming gaze.
To prevent him from.
The target can't make opportunity attacks or take immediate actions till end.
Okay. So you think he's got an immediate action? Go for it.
Yeah. So this is against. Well, it doesn't say. I guess it's just against whatever. So.
I think it's an automatic effect. You don't think you have to roll, right?
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So charming gaze, Anduriel, you burrow your gaze into the back of him, and it's like that creepy feeling when you know you're like, somebody's staring at me, and you're like, oh, there's, and Anduriel, he sees you standing on top of the table, having just thrown your dagger with murder in your eyes. And I don't know when murder is not in your eyes, but this is a really murdery kind of murder in your eyes. So murder, so much murder.
Now,
isn't it more like blue steel?
Yeah, it's mean.
But they have the eyes have sort of it's not like a demonic glow to them.
Do they sparkle?
They don't sparkle.
Okay. All right.
But it's more like a silver, really bright silver sheen to them as he's doing this.
Very nice. All right, so he's looking at you, and your eyes are kind of shimmering with that silver, and he's just like, for a minute there, he can't take his gaze away from you, and it's very disconcerting. And that would be the Anduriel's hand. Anduriel, you still have your action point, but I'm assuming you don't want to use it.
No, not yet. I'm going to try and save from this wizard spell.
Okay. And what is it?
Oh, that is a 4. But I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. What is that, Lachlan? 1d6 or 1d8?
1d6.
You need to roll a 6.
Ooh.
Is there enough magic in the moonlight?
How inspired are you?
Yeah. It is worth a try to not fall asleep.
Yeah, it's worth a try because I need this. Okay. Here we go.
Roll the 1d6. Everyone.
Haha. It's a 6.
Okay. You moved back. All right. Very good. So, Anduriel,
my camera doesn't detach and move, but
that's fine. Anduriel, you start drifting off to sleep, and then the sound of Lachlan's music fills your mind and irritates you so much that you manage to shake. You're like, oh, that song is so annoying.
Bob, shut up.
Okay. All right. Anduriel shouts out for you to shut up, Lachlan.
It probably was so inspiring because St. Gilly is there too. I mean,
yes, she is.
She's pretty inspiring.
Maybe that's why the 6 came about, because she was Cuban Peting all over the place.
Okay. Okay. That was Anduriel's turn. Morokhan. Morokhan, it is your first unfettered turn, my friend.
Oh, finally. Okay.
You've already used your Fist of Fury for the day, unfortunately, but everything else, I believe, is open to you. Cry havoc, Morokhan, and cry havoc and release the Dogs of War. All that.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, does Morokhan recognize this dude is a foe?
Well, the cook is on the floor, passed out in front of you. The presence, whatever presence it was, has flown into the little girl. But the priest was pointing at you and had started chanting, and he is right down the way from you.
Right. So yeah, Anduriel's got my attention. I'm going to move down next to him, and I'm going to move to N18.
All right.
And
now you are in melee with the priest of the High One.
Okay. So I see this guy come, and Anduriel gets my attention, and I run. I see this dude pointing at me, and I run down the hall. And as I'm running, I call out to Hamina, and I say, "Goddess of light, and you who wander, guide my fist that it might strike true." I lift my claw up into the air, and a little pocket of light gathers in my fist as I cast Avenging Flame right into this guy's mug.
Okay, that's going to hurt.
And it is a... it is a 23 against his AC.
Okay, that is more than a hit, Morocon. All right. How much damage?
It is a 2d8 plus bonus. So... It is... It is 19 points of damage.
Okay.
Plus ongoing fire damage of ongoing 5 fire damage. And the target is target on this turn cannot make a saving throw, so it gets at least 1 round of fire damage.
All right. So you call out to Himina, and your fist explodes in fiery light. And where do you hit him? Because you just did a buttload of damage.
It is straight into that awful little symbol in the middle of his chest.
Oh, you went for the holy symbol. All right. So you swing in, and you're like, crack! And you hear his sternum crunch under your fist. And then the firelight kind of leaps off. It kind of flares like a sun. And it leaps onto him and starts burning the front of his robe. And he's like, and starts beating at it with his hands and screaming. And when you do that, St. Delia Adir goes, boom, 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 like that. Shakes her head. Very beautiful. In time. Very nice, Morocon. Would you like to do anything else? You still have a minor.
Yeah, for my minor action, I'm going to Dragon Breath. I'm going to breathe some fire on him.
That's vindictive.
It's
he wasn't already on fire.
It's so it is a
bonus is right there in the power, I think.
Yeah. It's so it's a 22 against reflex.
That's more than a hit. His reflex is 13. He's not the fastest chap.
All right. And it is 8 fire damage.
Okay. So you would feel bad for him if you didn't know that he was the priest of an archdevil. So it's not enough that he's already on fire. You're like, throw another shrimp on the barbie. So you breathe out this gout of flame, and his eyebrows and his hair goes up. And he's like, oh, stop, make it stop. Ah! And he's scorched. He's burned all over. It's just bad. It's a bad look. It's just bad. All right. Very nice turn, Morocon. That's the first time you've ever used your daily, too, I believe. That was painful.
Oh, and it felt good.
I bet it did.
Oh, my gosh. That was a solid hit. It felt good.
He looks like he's still pretty up and ready, Morocon, but he certainly doesn't look like he can take that too many more times. So
is he bloodied?
He is not quite bloodied, but he's friggin' within a couple of hit points close.
Dang.
So yeah, he's in pain. Alrighty, that was the Morocon. Now, Anduriel, the little girl on the bicycle, she hops. The little girl, Sabella Gable, jumps onto the tricycle and starts wheeling towards you. The tricycle leaps into the air, and she claws at you as she goes by.
That's creepy.
And it's like Leprechaun. It's like the movie Leprechaun when Leprechaun gets on the big wheel and it begins moving on its own. The tricycle is kind of moving under its own power. What's your reflex, Anduriel?
Reflex of 17.
Okay, that's only a 4. So, Anduriel, you see the little girl coming, and how do you dodge or deflect?
Well, first of all, I'm not slowed anymore, so I'm like, okay, what's going on? I turn and I see her. He sees her coming. He's like, what in the name of Shadow is going on today? And so he sort of just kind of crouches like a superhero crouch as she flies over his head. He's like, boom, she just barely misses him.
All right, so you drop into the crouch. She pulls a knife. Like, it's honestly, it doesn't look much more than like a butter knife. But she pulls a little butter knife, and as she's like, the tricycle's going by, she's like, she swings like 10 times at you, and nowhere near you, but just has this horrible demonic twisted, vicious-looking expression on her face as she goes by. And she goes past you, Anduriel, and lands in square 24M. Okay, and that would be her turn. Now, when she lands, Anduriel, she reaches down and lifts up her hand like this, and another little pool of hellfire opens up at your feet, Anduriel, and tries to grab you. What is your AC?
15.
Right. That is a 15. Anything anybody can do about that to up his AC?
Not from this distance.
Unfortunately. Okay. I don't think Sister Faudever can do anything either, but let me double check. No, unfortunately, Sister Faudever is all about the healing. She's good at it, but she doesn't have anything to help you. Okay, Anduriel, you take... Anduriel, you take 9 points of damage, and you are grabbed, just like Lachlan.
Alrighty. So, quick question. When I channeled Divinity before, it backfired on me. Am I unable to channel Divinity now again because like it didn't work? Or because I know that I can only channel the Divinity once per encounter, right?
Well, this has never happened to you before, so you could try it and see what happens.
No, he's more surprised than pissed at this moment, so.
What kind of a DM do you think I am? What would I do? Jump into my head.
That's metagaming. Haha.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off.
I know Matt a little too. Okay, that's your choice entirely.
How would your
No, I'm
god?
gonna say... What's that?
How would your god feel about you trying to channel Divinity again after he just basically chewed you out?
I think. Well, it would depend on how I used it. Like if I'm going for vengeance, he may appreciate that. Okay, I'm back on Team Naylock again, but I don't think I'm going to use it in this instance. So.
Okay, well, it makes sense. Anduriel is a calculating creature. Perhaps he's calculated the odds and has decided, "Ner."
Not yet.
Okay. Alrighty.
I'm sure that's how he said it too.
You think he said "ner"?
Yeah.
It's a possibility. All right. Moving on. All right. So that was Moralcon. That was the little girl, and she took her turn. And all right, the cleric Moralcon backs away from you 1 square, and he shifts back into square 20N. And he takes 5 more points of damage. 'Cause he is on fire.
Burn.
He burns. All right. Moralcon, he is going to cast Awaken Pride on you. What is your will?
17.
You lucky freaking Dragonborn.
Oh. Hey, luck doesn't happen often for me, so...
Lucky. Right there, my friend. That is a 1 on Awaken Pride. All right. So he casts a spell, Moralcon, at you, and he points his finger at you and starts chanting, and this power washes over you, but you're still so full of holy light and fire that it can't even penetrate the aura around you. And meanwhile, he continues burning. However, he would use Elven Accuracy to try to re-roll that, but guess what?
He's not an elf?
Do that. No, he cannot do that because Anduriel used his gaze on him, so he can't use immediate actions. So, very nice move, Anduriel.
Yes.
So he thinks about maybe trying to chant again, but then he catches a look at Anduriel out of the corner of his eyes, like, I don't know what the vampire's doing. I better just let the spell go. Like, and
He's charmed by the gaze.
Oh, is he charmed? So is he
It's
like?
a charming gaze. It's something that Lachlan would be jealous of. Like,
Okay, so
"Hey, that's my gig."
instead of being worried at you, he's like checking out your package. Like,
Hey.
he's like, maybe after this, you and me could go get a drink. Oh wait, no, that idea. Okay. No. Okay. Okay. All right, that was him. Now, and that was. All right, the wizard. Anduriel, you shook that spell off. The wizard is getting really nervous. What is he gonna do?
Wizard's gonna run away.
Freaking Anduriel. Oh, Moralcon, you and your freaking gold dragonness. Okay, Anduriel, he's gonna cast Phantom Cage on you. What's your reflex?
Reflex 17.
Okay, that, my friend, is more than enough, unfortunately. At a 21. All right, now the good news is you only take 5 points of psychic damage, which you completely ignore, right?
Yes.
Okay, because don't you have psychic resistance? Or is that wrong? Is that radiant and necrotic?
Oh no, it is radiant. Well, yes, radiant necrotic. Never mind.
All right, so you take 5 points of psychic damage, and Anduriel, you will take another 5 points of damage if you move on your turn. So here's what he does. He looks at you and he's like, I gotta stop him from moving. He starts chanting and casting a spell. And as he moves his fingers like this, you are suddenly encaged in like a little cage that seems to have electricity running around it. However, the cage is only in your mind. Part of you knows that. But the other part of you is like, oh, I can't touch the electric bars or I'll get shocked. But it doesn't look real. So you're like, and he is going to run again. He's going to run, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He runs to square V23. All right, and he looks pretty nervous too as he's running. He's like, goes running over, his purple robe just kind of flapping as he tries to put distance between all of you, and that is what he does. And now, I think that's all the bad guys, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Just double checking here. No, it's not. Okay. It is Sir Deckert. Sir Deckert Gable is in melee with Sister Faudever. All right. Gizik, he is going to use... Well, let's see. Who does he want to attack now? He's going for Sister Faudever. He uses double attack on Sister Faudever and swings his bastard sword at her twice. And I believe, unfortunately, is just going to club her upside the head. Yep, that hits twice. Poor Sister Faudever. Is he weak? Hold on. Nope, he's not bloodied, so none of that. That is not going to help.
Sir Deckard, that's the name of the Night Lord, right?
Sir Deckard Gable, yeah. All right, he swings his bastard sword and hits Sister Faudever twice.
Ouch.
11 plus 16 is 27 points of damage to poor Sister Faudever. All right, so she is doing her best to deflect his bastard sword with her great sword. She's healed herself, so she's fine. She's like, king, king. She blocks, but her swings are just too big and too slow. So she blocks, and he gets expertly past her defenses, knocks her sword aside, punches her in the face with the shield, and slashes her twice, once across the leg and once across her sword arm. And she screams out in pain. And that would be the end of their turn. Now it is Sister Faudever's turn. For the third time, Sister Faudever uses Lay on Hands to heal herself again. Why? Because she's got a whole lot of healing going on. Actually, wait up a sec. Who else is injured?
I am.
Lachlan, are you injured? You doing okay?
I'm only down 10.
All right, now she's just going to heal herself then. And unfortunately, this time it is only a 2. So she heals herself.
This much.
So she only heals herself for 16. Okay. All right, so she takes it and she puts her hand down to her leg and is like, ugh! She plants the sword and white light envelops her hand and she heals. And let's see. I think she's angry enough to use Paladin's Judgment.
Do it.
She lifts up her sword and she says, she picks it up off of the resting position and parries one of his blows and brings it up in front of her, defending her. And she says, Lady of Hope, grant me the power to judge this man for his many sins, which I'm sure are the reason why he is fighting me. And she will attack. And unfortunately, she only gets a 15. However, she is going to use Memory of 1,000 Lifetimes. Why? Because Sister Faudever also seems to have celestial blood. And she connects. Okay. Ooh! And she does 14 plus 7, 21 plus 5, 26 points of damage to the Night Lord she does.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that officially bloodies him. So her sword blazes with holy light, so much so that he has to hold up his shield behind it. And she goes, ah! And stabs straight out with the sword, giving this kind of operatic screech, and stabs him right in the chest. And as she does so, the glow envelops her, and then she gathers it again in her hand, and she flings it towards Anduriel. You're injured, yes?
Correct.
Anduriel, she flings it towards you and lets you spend a healing surge.
All right.
Okay.
When she bloodies him, I'm going to use Virtue of Valor to give her 5 temporary hit points.
Oh, she will take that.
Throw out a hand, and a rosy shield of energy kind of surrounds her.
Okay. All right, Anduriel, she flings that light towards you almost offhandedly, and then she looks back and she says, please don't take that as a sign of my approval of your faith, King. Like, Gizik, it's your turn, my friend.
All right. I've been just sitting here staring at this Night Lord for so long.
Like, hey, buddy.
Um,
A lot of enemies on the table.
I'm gonna attack him. He's just right there in front of me. With my large magical claws that are just covered in this heavy jagged stone, I'm just gonna start swiping at him like crazy, try and rip off a few chunks of flesh. Hag's Hunger.
That's an appropriate turn.
All right, so that's a 27 on one attack and natural 1 on the other.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Gizik, would you like to move into flank position with Sister Faudever? Just FYI, or no? You don't have to.
I don't think I could this turn, but I could shift 1 and set up for being in flanking position next turn.
Well, you can break. You're right. Yeah, you would have to do that
So,
if you want to.
I will shift to G15.
Okay.
You know, just kind of like circle around him as I'm slicing him up.
All right. Well, she just stabbed him in the chest. So you hit him with 1. How much did you do?
14.
All right. So Gizik, how do you claw him? If she stabs him in the chest and pulls her greatsword out, what do you do?
As I said, I've been wildly just kind of swiping across, slashing across him, trying to rip a few chunks of flesh out of him.
All right. Well, you succeed.
He's
So
just,
you come
he's
around the
missing
back.
like this big chunk of his pec or something. Maybe his
Okay.
shoulder's gone.
All right, so you get off his shoulder because his pecs aren't on his back unless he's
Oh.
been possessed and just mutated. Although if your pectorials are on the back of your back, we here at Holy Rollerz don't discriminate against back pectorial people. Just letting it. Anyway, moving on.
We do suggest you see a medical professional.
We do quite a bit. Or a witch doctor, herbalist, essential oils, anything. Anyway, Gizik, you claw the back of his neck and rip skin and blood and sinew off of his shoulder, right above where his armor is not protecting him, and blood just spurts out the back of your claw, and you bring your other claw in and you drag it down. You penetrate through his tabard, but not through his chainmail armor or his plate armor. And so your claws just kind of go like down his armor, but they don't penetrate. And as you hurt him, Sister Fadaver goes, "Don't hurt him, it's not his fault!" And pulls her sword out of his chest. Okay. And Gizik, you still have your action point. Do you want to do anything? You're going to call it good.
I think I do. I'm going to use my action point and... let's see. I'm going to attack with Dreadful Claw.
You just do that. So she says, "Don't hurt him," and your response is to use black magic. That's great. That's wonderful.
The whole crew is very taken with Sister Fadaver.
Yeah. All I heard was hurt him. That's what I heard.
All right, so that's a 31 versus reflex.
Yeah, that'll do it.
All right, so it's a +6. Um, 9 damage, and he's dazed. So just my claw just starts dripping with this black sludge almost, and I just stab it. I try and attack his neck. I probably miss a little bit. He's not dead, I'm sure, but
So you're gonna go right back to the same area you clawed him the last time and try to give him an infection.
oh yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right, so
Just kind of this
following it up.
big swipe across the same area, and he's dazed now.
All right, so you cast your spell and your claw drips with that ichor, and you go right in to that wound. You're like, just like Mother used to make. And Sister Fadaver goes, oh, do you have any idea what I'm gonna have to do to cure that? Oh, dripping. All right, Lachlan, we are back at the top of initiative, and Saint Delia Adira's light is fading. Just to let the rest of you know. Lachlan, it is your turn.
He's like, no, I like that song.
Okay, 1 second, Lachlan. At the start of the turn, Saint Delia Adira's light is fading. Moro Khan, you hear a voice in your head, a seductive and pleasing voice. What is your will, Moro Khan?
17.
All right. Lucky for you, that's only a 13. You hear the voice in your head, Moro Khan, but you kind of are not. You're like, you recognize it as a foreign presence and not to be trusted. And the voice says, "Proud, eager young dragonborn, so ready to prove yourself the equal of your father. They call you lizard. They mock your noble heritage. I can make you the leader of the divine fellowship. Work with your deities instead of against them. The Piper is the true threat behind this entire attack. I'll tell you his master plan. All you have to do is call a truce with my followers."
Get out of my head.
Okay, do you say that out loud or just in your mind?
Oh no, I'll say it out loud. Because I don't know who it's coming from. For all I know, it's this cleric in front of me.
All right, get out of my head. Very good. You say "get out of my head" so quickly, and then there's that bitter kind of hissing that echoes in your mind painfully, but it does withdraw. Saint Delia Adira's light is fading, and she is starting to fade from view. Not quite yet. Lachlan, my friend, it is your turn.
Okay.
Lachlan.
Hercules.
Do you ever tell Gizik to get the people out of to get the demons out?
No, I was at the end of my turn.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Say it now.
He's gonna keep it to himself. No one will show him up.
Yes. The rest of you should have been. Yeah.
Arlen
No.
Castillo.
Lachlan's turn. It is.
Is that twin thing still by me?
It vanished.
Vanished. Okay. So
Sorry, I probably should have mentioned that.
so am I still grabbed by that hand?
You are still grabbed.
Okay.
Yep. By a clawed, devilish-looking hand that's rising up right out of the floor.
All right.
It's not doing anything more. It itself is not on fire. All it's doing is holding you there.
Okay. So for a minor action, I want to shout. Well, no, I don't want to shout. I'm within 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm within range of Gizik.
Okay.
And so I say to Gizik in my mind link, say, you're the one who has to use your power over spirits to force the devil out of the little girl.
But she's so far away.
Well, then don't.
You make a fair point. We're all gonna die.
Maybe I should cast
Well-
Blunder at you.
Casting it out of the girl isn't going to help because then it will just go into somebody else. We have to trap it,
Lachlan,
Deal with it.
contain it in the girl, maybe.
Lachlan, you think that if he channels divinity and words his prayer carefully, Sigrund can prevent it from crowding out the other soul with your 25 check on religion.
Trust your nasty face goddess. He'll be able to keep it out of the little girl.
Okay.
You have
So-
a point.
Trust your worthless, disgusting patroness.
So where's the wizard?
The wizard is
No,
now...
the priest. The priest.
The priest is 1 square in front of Morocon in 20N. You're still grabbed.
Well, not for long.
Ooh.
I'm gonna- Yeah. Just wait. I'm gonna use my rift boots. as a move
Oh!
action.
Oh.
So- He does a little there's no place like home moment. Clicks
you
his
just-
heels and actually it's more of a Puss in Boots tap dance, and he's gonna tap to square. N18.
All right. Lachlan, you teleport to N18. That's where Morocon is.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
M18.
Morocon, Lachlan teleports right on top of you. It hurts.
Like a piggyback. A piggyback.
Woohoo.
There's 2 of us now.
I'll be right next to him then in M for monkey 18.
Okay.
That's what I thought you said in the first place.
No, I said N as in no more 20s.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use Blunder on the priest. What's his will?
The priest's will is not fantabulous. His will is 15. It's decent.
Good. I got a dirty 20. So
Okay.
he's going to take 9 points of damage,
All right.
and I'm going to slide him up into square M19 right next to me.
All right.
And Morocon gets a melee basic attack with a +3 to the attack roll. So he looks at him just like holds out his hand and then kind of does a little come here finger to him, and whistles like a.
Okay.
The guy just dances right on over.
Okay. Boom. So Morocon tap dances his way. Lachlan tap dances his way right out of there, turns and spins and vanishes in a flourish for like, shut up. Okay. And you appear right next to Morocon and you whistle and he comes over like he comes over like that. He looks at his arm. He's like, "What am I doing? This is so undignified." And Morocon, make your melee basic.
Okay. Well, Morocon is like, oh, what is no? Wham!
I don't want in this fight. I'll take the little girl.
It's like, oh no, where? 7 points of damage.
Okay. This guy is looking beat to crap. He cannot take much more of this.
I'm going to use an action point.
All right.
I'm going to start to sing the prayer of the prayer for Sindel, the heart-warding prayer. So he starts singing, "Elder Goddess, heed the words of your servant in peril. As you once walked this mortal plane, show us compassion as we walk in your footsteps. Calm our troubled hearts and make us bold. Give us the strength to love as you would without fear."
Okay, so you start praying with your action point, and the spotlight on Saint Delia Adira flares even brighter, and the music starts moving faster, and it's like the music like from Vega from Street Fighter, like dun 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 dun. Okay, the maracas are going, and then the Cuban beat. She's like, "I'm the king of the room, bubby. I go chick chicky boom," and she's dancing, and it's mesmerizing, and the shadow is still just kind of swaying back and forth on the wall as she dances faster and faster, and it's difficult not to watch her. She's so enrapturing to watch as she moves. Her every exit movement is executed perfectly and beautifully, and she's bouncing and jiggling in all kinds of pleasant places, and it's just disturbing. Okay, this guy's also on fire. I would like to point out, I didn't save for him. Okay, he did, so he's not on fire anymore. I forgot to save on his turn. Okay, and that is the Lachlan. All right, anything else you're gonna do, Lachlan?
That's it.
All right, so Lachlan prays again and manages to strengthen Saint Delia Adira's presence in the room enough to push out Navariel's weight. All right, Anduriel, it is your turn, my friend. You are no longer slowed.
But I am grabbed.
You are grabbed, unfortunately.
How does one break a grab?
One breaks a grab with a move action.
Then I shall...
Athletics or acrobatics?
Acrobatics I shall try.
Use your kukri and just cut the hand off.
Okay, he rolled a 1, Mr. Devil Hand, so anything but a 1 and you break it.
14.
All right, you break out of the grab, Anduriel. You now have a move and a minor. Or, excuse me, you have a standard action and a minor.
Standard and a minor.
Go for the little girl and channel divinity again.
No. And
JT, when you escape a grab, you can also shift 1 square.
Okay, so I'm
I don't know if you want to do that, but you can.
I may as well shift to just kind of a ew. I shift 1 square over.
To where?
To 21K.
All right, so you are... Okay, now where are you going? Or what are you doing?
All right. I can't use a minor for a move, but I can use a standard for a move.
Yes.
Okay. He sees the cleric. The cleric is bloodied, yes?
The cleric is extremely bloodied.
He's having trouble not looking at the cleric at the moment. This is beyond... This is beyond something that he's experienced with his vampireness, because he has that under control. He's been living with it for so long. He finds himself oddly fixated on the cleric, And so he's going to take his standard to move and do a melee basic attack on the cleric.
All right, charge attack on the cleric. So where do you want to end up in?
I'm going to end up in 20M.
Okay. You are flanking with Lachlan, which gives you a +2 to your attack.
Okay. That is an 18 on the dice, so I'm sure I hit.
That's more than enough.
Okay. So actually, Anduriel, he's not moving as fluidly as he usually does. He's sort of like in a trance state. And he runs over to the cleric, the cleric, and he just starts ripping into him with his fangs. I guess I should roll for my damage, huh?
Are you attacking with your what do you call it? With your dagger, or Leviathan's tooth, or with your kukri?
This is blood revelry.
Oh, you're gonna use blood. All right. Well then, by all means, engage.
I can't help it. He's bloodied. He's right there, and I'm moving. Yeah, I'm moving. Right. I can't.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you can do. Okay, go for it. Get him.
So that is an 11 points of damage.
Okay, and
so I actually get to add another weapon die of damage. So hold on. So that is 15 points total of damage.
Okay.
And so yeah, I move over to him, and Anduriel just starts tearing into him, and he starts kind of giggling. And he starts.
All right, Anduriel is gnawing on him, and instead of like feeding in some kind of severe but straight way, the blood is just pouring all over his face and down his clothing, and rather than sophistication, he giggles.
He's giggling, and then for the coup de grace, he's not drinking, he's not doing anything. He starts smearing the blood all over himself. He starts smearing it, and he's giggling. And
Okay.
And then he kind of like snaps out of it a little bit and is looking around going, what?
And
Lachlan and I we're standing right next to him, just like I'll lean over.
Oh.
I've never seen him do that before. Is normal?
you can answer him if you want, Lachlan.
He's just like the people eating in this place is just unreal.
This is not a do as the Romans do kind of situation. You sicko.
As he dry heaves.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Does it kill him?
No. He has maybe a couple hit points left. Anduriel rips into him. He's got his white robe is now soaked with blood all over the place. He was on fire. He's burned. He was singed. His little elven ears were just kind of scorched. It was just an ugly, ugly situation, and he's swaying on his feet now. Somebody pees on him. That's it. He's going down. That would be
You mention it.
Okay, Anduriel, have you used your action point? Just
Not
FYI.
yet.
Okay, just checking. You want to use it? Or are you done?
No, I think Anduriel's
Horrified.
he's got to think about things for a second, but he's looking at those two. He's like, what are you two idiots looking at? Someone take care of that girl. We need to get that spirit out of her.
Okay, Moralcon, it's your turn, my friend.
Well, let's see here.
Would like to take my minor action to go, ugh.
Are you okay?
What is the matter with you?
Looking very confused at Anduriel. What is your problem? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, you. And I'll put my hand on my chest, on my holy symbol as it starts to glow a bit, and I'll bring my fist back and bring my claw forward as I cast Sacred Shielding onto this guy, which I roll a I roll a what's a 19 plus attack bonus? That's a 28.
I think we call that enough.
Against
That's more than enough to slay him, Morokhan. So tell me how you take him out. He's wobbling on his feet and.
Okay, well, I'm rather distraught by what's happened, and let's dispatch this, and so yeah, as I slug my clawed fist up into his face, his face basically caves in under my heavy clawed hand as he thuds to the ground in a clump.
Okay, that square 19M becomes difficult terrain as his body drops into the square.
And then Lachlan gets a +2 resistance to all damage.
Ooh. And how long does that last? Till the end of your next turn?
It is for the duration of the encounter.
Okay. Ooh. Oh,
For the
very
rest of
nice.
all time.
Very nice.
And Anduriel's one square too far away, right? For that to happen. It's just all allies adjacent to me.
That would be Lachlan. And yeah, that's just Lachlan. All right, so Lachlan, you have a resist 2 to damage for the rest of the encounter.
Nice. You're welcome.
Okay, very nice. Very nice, Lachlan. All right, Morokhan, have you used your action point? Did you? I don't remember.
I have. Wait, did I use it? I don't remember. Did I get down off of the? Did I get down off the chandelier with that action point?
No, the chandelier. That was your move.
That was just a move. Okay.
Yeah, I think you did a charge attack, so I don't think you've used your action point yet. Does anybody remember him using his action point? I don't remember it.
I don't think he has.
Okay, do you want to use it, or are you done?
I am going to be done for the moment.
Okay. Alrighty, and that would be Morokhan's turn. All right. Now, the little girl on the tricycle. She is really irritated. So she is going to use haunted object possession. Morokhan, what is your reflex?
I'm not an object.
No, you're not.
How dare you?
But you're about to be objected to. What is your?
It's an 18.
All right, 18. Sorry, what's your? Is that your reflex?
That's my reflex.
All right, 18. She needs a 10, and that's an 11. Anything anybody can do to help Morokhan with his AC? Because otherwise, this is really gonna hurt.
I can paint him with blood.
You really would share.
That's great. And Duriel's gonna be like, try some.
Here, buddy. Don't worry, buddy.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's sorry. 3 die 6, not 3 die 8. Silly me.
Now.
Okay. 12 plus 8. Morokhan, you take 20 points of damage. This is what the little girl does. She looks up at you and she goes, "Stupid Dragonborn! Did I say you could kill my priest?" And then she reaches up towards those swords that are on the wall, and the swords start going. They start rattling on the wall on the shield they are, and then like 3 of them fly off the wall and they stab right into Morokhan, and they pull out and they start spinning around him and trying to stab him again. So Morokhan, you are now in melee with a bunch of these flying haunted objects that she attacks you with. And Mr. Gizik. No, she's gone for it. Yeah. Well, the 3 of you are just right there.
Oh, I took 5 points of damage when I moved, by the way, because of the wizard's net.
Okay, so you moved through that net. You took. Thank you for.
I marked it down. Yeah, I marked it
You will
down.
be so blessed for your honesty at some point here. I'm not sure kind of. In fact, I'll tell you what. Because you were so honest, we'll go for Lachlan instead. How's that?
Just winning Anduriel friends all over the place.
Yeah. No, actually, we're that possessing devil is going to use an action point and use Flight of the Burning Devil because you guys are close to each other. Anduriel, what is your reflex?
It is 18.
18. Okay. Flight of the Burning Devil. She needs a 10 to get you. And that is only a 6.
Ooh.
Lucky dog. Okay. All right. And because she missed, she can't do it again. All right. So Anduriel, she points to that at the end, and those swords go to Morocon, and then the little girl stands up. She levitates like off the ground, off the tricycle, and lifts her hands like this. And as she lifts her hands, this kind of like tortured looking soul on fire, wordlessly screaming, kind of like crumples up into a ball in front of her. And then she hurls this damned burning soul at you. And the form kind of like tumbles end over end. And Anduriel, how do you dodge?
I figured they were just grossed out by the blood on me, but so no, no,
even I have my limits.
No, I'm actually pretty acrobatic. I picture it being more of a kind of a Matrix type of a situation where he kind of falls back and it just goes right over him.
Okay, this soul, this damned burning soul, goes flying over you, and you swing back and you matrix it. It collapses into the floor and then just kind of fades away. And then the little girl lets out this scream, and her jaw like detaches and goes impossibly low, and she's like, and lets out this terrible scream, and then points at you, Anduriel, and lifts. And another flaming hand comes up off the ground.
Dang, these flaming hands.
And misses you with a 5.
So handsy.
Grossed out by the blood.
Actually, Anduriel, what's your AC? It's 15, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, she hit you. I lied. That was a 5 she rolled, plus 10 is 15.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right.
Their hands on Anduriel.
Okay, Anduriel, you take 10 points of damage and you are grabbed. What are you down to, my friend?
27.
Okay, and alrighty. Morocon, you have made yourself a serious... Well, we don't have to have the cultist on here anymore. Morocon, you've made a nuisance of yourself.
By nuisance, you mean I've made myself awesome.
Yes. That is exactly what I meant. Morocon, the wizard starts casting a spell, and a little like image of the wizard himself appears or shimmers into, you know, that what the air looks like when it's rippling and it's overheated, like the air is too hot and water is kind of rippling in the air. That shimmers into space right next to you in square 18-0, and a version of the wizard made out of like magma rises up next to you and makes an attack. What is your reflex?
18.
And that is a hit. And well, I don't know. I wouldn't freak out too much. Don't you have fire resistance?
I don't know. Do I?
I should hope so.
I would think so. It's not written on my sheet anywhere.
Don't Dragonborn have fire resistance, Ryan?
They have, I think it's 5.
Plus 1 half their level, or just 5?
I've got it right here. Let me just see.
Yeah, if you could just open that bad boy up. That would be under your racial abilities on the top of your character sheet.
I don't have that. All I have is the like +1 to attacks bloody.
Well,
I don't have.
Then clearly Ryan forgot to put it on your character sheet. I mean,
I would like to think that I have heat.
I'm sorry, it's not. I'm thinking of the dragon sorcerer.
Okay, so he does not have fire resistance?
No.
All right. Well, you're gonna wish you had.
No, boo.
Morocon, you take 6 points of fire damage as this wizardly version of the magma rises up, and you take ongoing fire 5, and you are slowed.
What kind of worthless dragonborn doesn't have fire resistance.
That's a good point. Especially, I mean, you breathe it for heaven's sake.
Right?
And it hurts every time. Oh.
It's hot. Okay.
I like it spicy.
So he took kind of a chance by attacking you, but you've also made a nuisance. So Moralcon, you are in some serious trouble here. You have swords that are attacking you every round, and now you are on fire. I guess it's your pants since you don't wear a shirt, which much fire. Anyway, moving on. It's spicy, and that. Okay, so that was the wizard's turn, and then what is he going to do? Does he want any part of this? I think the wizard is going to back towards the door. He moves into square T28. All right, and now the Night Lord is in melee with Sister Faudever. Freaking Gizik with his Gizikness. Gizik, he doesn't want to be flanked by you, but there's really not too much he could do to avoid it. So he is going to, once again, use double attack on Sister Faudever. That's a 9 and an 8, which would make an 18 and a 19. So 1 hit and 1 miss. Thank the light. Ow! And he does 9 plus 8, 17 points of damage to poor Sister Faudever. Who is getting really tired of going, oh, ooh, stop hitting me! So, once again, bashes her with the shield, swings twice. She parries once with her greatsword, and then he slashes her across her other shoulder, and she screams out in pain. That would be the Night Lord. That would be the wizard. That would be the whole universe. And that would be the end. All right. That is the end of Evil's turn. Now it is Sister Faudever's turn. And what does she want to do? Because he just keeps hitting her. All right. She is going to use Righteous Smite. Or in her case, Self-Righteous Smite. So...
Just smite then, right?
Yeah. And she gets a 27.
Nice.
And does 4 die 6 plus 5 points of damage.
Sounds good.
Ooh.
Is he bloodied?
Roll 6 on all of them.
He was. I think he was pretty...
Why, yes, he is bloodied. So she's actually going to do even more. 5 die 6 plus 5 points of damage.
Oh.
Okay, 8. Okay, 8 for 12 plus 8 is 22 plus 5 is 27.
Ooh.
And she drops him.
I
Okay,
hope so.
so she slashes, and each ally within 5 squares of her gets 9 temporary hit points.
Very nice.
And so that would be
Yeah,
Gizik,
really Gizik.
And that is it.
Gizik, Moralcon, Lachlan, and Gizik. All 3 of you get 9 temporary hit points.
Oh, within
So-
5?
Yeah, within 5 squares of Sister Faudever. I just counted. So that's
Okay.
all 3 of you. And Ariel, you get nothing, unfortunately. She wouldn't have given it to you anyway because what you just did was so offensive.
Thanks, Willy Wonka. You
yeah.
get nothing.
Yeah. You lose. Good day, sir. Okay. All right. So she
5?
does
5 hit points?
9
9 temporary.
hit points. Yeah. All
Okay.
right. So she takes her sword. He slashes her, and she says, "A truly righteous knight would have broken the devil's control by now." And she parries and lifts her sword and starts chanting in Celestial. And then she levels her sword at him, and a blast of holy power knocks him off his feet. And he goes like, he spins in the air and goes face down in front of her and doesn't move. And she goes, "Oh, I hope that didn't hurt. Sorry. But you know, this really is your fault for getting possessed in the first place." And that is Sister Faudever's turn. She is still injured.
You cast Smite and you say you hope you're not injured.
She's going to use her last lay on hands on herself because, actually, no. She's going to use virtue and get herself 10 temporary hit points because she feels like it would be selfish to use her last surge on herself. Right. So she goes to heal herself and she's like, well, I don't want to be like him. And instead she says, she makes the sign of the shield and says, Holy Bestera, by the virtue that is within me, that is nowhere near as virtuous as you, but is certainly more than the vampires, please grant me your protection. And a white light covers her like a shield over her skin and just kind of lingers over her. And she gets 10 temporary hit points. Gizik, it is your turn, my friend.
All right. So where did this little girl end up?
She is in square 24M.
Oh, so she didn't actually move then.
No, she didn't move.
She just levitated, really creepy.
Yeah, she levitated really creepy. Her head did 360s, and she made horrible swords fly off the wall and stab Morocon. And then she grabbed Enduro with a devil's hand up through the ground and made other horrible choices.
Not cool, girl.
All right. I think I can actually reach her if I run and crawl over the table.
Okay.
Do it.
So
all right, Gizik, are you going to try to use your standard power of possession, or are you going to ask Sigrun for an alternative use of it?
I'm basically going to try to improvise a new channel divinity power.
Okay. Well, Lachlan told you you can do something. Sigrun has power over souls, so if you come up with a creative prayer, she may give you something else, give you some help.
All right, I reach over and I just grab onto this little creepy girl. Just,
Okay.
like, grab her, the top of her head or something. She's probably kind of short.
Oh, jeez. That's creepy.
Like Shaquille with the basketball. Just boom.
There's a mental image.
Sure, yeah. All right.
I was picturing like one of those aliens just.
Like a face hugger.
Yeah. No.
You mean like the alien from Independence Day? Like, peace, no peace. All right, Gizik, are you running to get to her then? Is that your plan or what?
Yes, that was a run to get to her, unfortunately.
Right.
That's
That
a
is gonna-
-5, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, you can get to her. You're going to have to make an athletics check to get over the table, my friend.
Oh boy.
All right, fine.
You need a
Okay.
16.
Will you take a 10?
Total?
Yes.
All right. Is that?
Have you used inspiration?
Have you used bardic inspiration?
I don't think so,
I don't
because
think he has yet.
I
The
think
only
you
person-
need it.
it would have been in the last episode, and I missed, so I wouldn't have used inspiration and missed.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, you want to use it because if you don't, you're going to slip on some of the food and go face down in the platter.
So I need a 6.
You needed 6 on the one die. Was the one die 6, Rye? Or the one die 8?
Yeah. 1 by 6.
196.
Hey, Andurio pulled it off.
All right, that's a 14.
Okay.
I can do something about that.
You can?
Yes. I can use Adept's Insight to grant him a +5.
Yay!
Oh.
All right. All right.
All
Gizik,
right.
You go charging
Free
over
power
the
in
table.
my book.
You run, you go charging over the table, leap, and you slip on the meat. Lachlan, he's about to go face down, and what do you do? Like,
No, this is totally mental. He's like, it's almost like a domination. He sees it happening, and he's like, just by sheer power of wills you to not be a klutz.
okay. All
Uh,
Your
right,
footing
Gizik,
is just a little more sure.
all right, Gizik, you managed to gain your footing, my friend. You are now in front of the little girl on the tricycle.
I slip off the edge of the table and land on my feet right in front of her. That's like meant to do that.
That's how ogres run.
Over tables.
All right.
Pretty cool, right?
So the running puts me at a -5 on this channel divinity, right?
Yes, it does.
Say a good prayer.
Mm-hmm. Sigrund, you wretched,
words.
powerful goddess.
No, nice words.
She respond?
Uh,
Would she even listen to the prayer if it was nice? I'm not...
You have power over souls. Take this one and keep the demon bound.
Okay.
I'll try that.
All right, you try that. Roll your attack.
All right. That's a 27 -5 is a 22 versus will.
All right. Gizik, here's what happens. You say that, and she goes, you hear a voice echo in your ear. It's a devil, not a demon, you idiot.
Because I am so educated, I know the difference.
All right. And
Actually, with my witch background, I may know the difference. You know,
You
you may consort with one and hate the other. You never know.
you're in the heat of battle. It's okay. And so you hear that voice go, it's a devil, you idiot. And fine, have it your way. Your little holy symbol, that little vial, that crystal vial of magical liquid, flares with a brilliant green light, and it flashes kind of like a, not almost like a spotlight, and it shoves that red cloud of energy out of her, and a bat-winged, hideous-looking chain devil falls into the square next to her in 24N. And the little girl drops to the floor, not unconscious, but just catatonic almost with terror. And she looks up kind of in the face of the devil, and the devil hisses at her, and its tongue goes out of its mouth, and it's disgustingly long, and it hisses at her, covered in stylized chains. It looks like it's wearing some kind of magical armor made out of chains that's far more sophisticated than the other chain devils that you've seen, and it's corded with thick red-skinned muscles. And it has a helmet that is formed around its horns that curve backwards wickedly, almost like a goat's horns, but they don't move in a circle. And it hisses and looks straight at the little girl like it wants to devour her. And that
Run, little girl, run!
That would
Run
be
that tricycle and fly!
Yeah, I don't think the tricycle is going to move the same without the devil's power behind her. But in fact, I don't think she'll ever ride a tricycle again after tonight. But in any case, that is the end of the round, ladies and gentlemen, and that brings us. We are 15 minutes over tonight. So thank you everybody for your patience as we continue. We will pick this battle up next week. And I believe, Jeffrey, you have our consider this for the evening, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. All right, take it away, my friend.
All right. So I decided to start with a quote from Oscar Wilde. He says, "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." Which, I mean, it seems obvious, but I think a lot of the time, especially if you're dealing with any kind of feeling of anxiety, it's really easy to kind of just hide who you are and trying to find, just a comfortable way to be and kind of disappear a little bit. But if you can really be yourself and stand out, you might find people that hate you, but that's also how you find people that you can get along with and people that'll love you. And if you can kind of just really love and accept yourself where you're at, I think that's when you can also see the most change and growth in your life as well. So just be yourself, be your whole self, and find the people who like that.
I like it. Anybody else have thoughts to add to that?
Amen. That's fantastic. So many times you get caught trying to be something that you think other people will want you to be, or that you maybe I don't know. It's a refreshing take to say, you know what, be yourself, and not only will you feel better, but you'll also attract people who like you for who you are. So I think that's great.
I think if you're just trying to please other people, you're never going to be as good at that as you can be at being and doing what you have passion for.
I would add that let other people be themselves too. I see it work sometimes where kids will they like football and other kids are playing soccer, and so they'll say, oh well, soccer is so dumb, or they put other people's likes down as being somehow lesser or stupid. And so I think you gotta if someone wants to be a soccer player or a football player, that's good for them. If they want to like tomatoes and hate bananas, that's okay for them. It doesn't matter.
Well, I think a lot of that's driven by insecurity as well. You're attacking other people, the things that they like, because you're insecure about what you like.
I will add Carl G. Mazur's words to that. He said, always be yourself, but always be your better self. And I like that, because I like to say that 5 years ago, I was not the man that I am today. And 5 years before that, I was also a different person. And I, not every step is a step in the right direction all the time. They don't all last as long as you'd like them to. But I like the idea of being yourself, but being the best version of you that's possible. I think that's something that I think God wants. I think God wants us to be who we are. He didn't make us to be somebody else, and to throw away our unique characteristics, but to feel free to remove from us what we feel like isn't working for us. Not that it doesn't work for other people, but if it's not working for us. Now, of course, a good sign of that can be if you drive all other people away from you. Maybe it's not working for anybody. But but I'm sure Ben could speak more to that. So Ben, you no, it's not.
Now.
Love you, Ben. Love you. No. Any other thoughts, anybody? Okay.
No, I think we've covered it. That's
all right. Cool.
It's a good thought. I like that.
All right, everybody. All right. Thank you very much. Those of you who turned in, have a wonderful night. And there are more of us than there are of them. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.